Tiny Gamer here, and it is time! It is time to showcase Promeia on the channel. So last week I showcased Soukaku because I haven't showcased Promeia in Shiyu Defense. But now, since that Shiyu Defense video is up, it is finally time for me to make a Promeia showcase video. It's been a long time coming, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys have been waiting for the Promeia showcase. So now I am here to deliver the Promeia showcase. So, just like every other showcases, I'm just going to be showcasing Promeia in her teams. More specifically, just 10 teams that she can be on. Since she is a DPS, I'm just going to be showcasing some pretty good teams that you can run with her. But besides that, it's just gonna be a standard showcase video because she's a DPS, so yeah. Well, without any further ado, let's get started. So here is the Promeia showcase video, and I'm gonna be starting off with my Promeia build. Alright, so here is my Promeia build. So Promeia is a anomaly DPS. So you build her like a anomaly DPS. So basically you just give her attack, anomaly mastery, and AP. That's basically what every single anomaly agent runs, besides MIYABI, who runs crit stats instead because that is what her kit is. For Promeia's case, she is just your standard anomaly DPS, so you just run the basics of attack, anomaly mastery, and anomaly proficiency. So, I'm going to be explaining why these stats are very, very important. I'm starting off with the two common stats right here, which is attack and AP. So, since she is an anomaly DPS, attack and AP is, well, necessary. You have to build her with attack and AP, because the more attack and AP you have, the more damage she's able to do, specifically from her Ablooms. Her Ablooms are her main source of damage, so you want to buff up your attack and AP like crazy. You have to, because if you do, then Promeia hits really, really hard. You just have to do it. And now, it's time to talk about her most important stat. Attack and AP, of course, are important, but this stat is the most important of all. Anomaly Mastery. So, why do you need Anomaly Mastery? Well, besides, of course, triggering attribute anomalies as fast as you can, Anomaly Mastery is used for her Abloom damage. The more AM that you have, the more damage she's able to do with Ablooms. So that is very, very important. So basically, you want to stack as much AM as you can so that Promeia is able to trigger basically just 500k Ablooms or 1 million Ablooms. Yeah, she hits really, really hard if you build a lot of AM. Just like every single other anomaly agent who just uses AM, attack, and AP. If you build your Promeia like this, then she is going to be well, attacking like crazy, doing big numbers, etc, etc. So yeah, Promeia is just your basic anomaly DPS, that's all I'm trying to say. So now it's time to go over the in-depth stats right here, so let's talk about them. So we have right here 1,585 attack with 1,048 attack with a net total of 2,600 attack right there. It's a pretty high. I say that as long as you can get your Promeia to basically 2,600 or 2,500 attack, you should be fine on your attack. That is basically it, because at that point, she will just do a lot of damage. As for Anomaly Mastery, we have 148 with plus 100 with a net total of 248 Anomaly Mastery. I'm pretty sure this is the maximum Anomaly Mastery that you can achieve with Promeia with her signature. And as for AP, I went with 305. I suggest that you go above 280 for AP. That should be a comfortable range for your Promeia. And of course, since she is a anomaly DPS, you want to give her ice damage bonus. For me, well, I went with ice damage bonus. Of course, you can go for attack percent if you really want to, but I suggest you just go for ice damage because her Ablooms trigger ice anyway. So yeah, all of her anomalies are triggering ice attribute anomaly damage, so might as well just go for the ice damage disc. So yeah, so there we go. That is my Promeia stats. Now let's talk about the skills. So for Promeia skills, well, there is kind of a lot to talk about, but at the same time, she only uses two things, which is basically her EX and sometimes her ultimate. So let's talk about why well, I leveled up my skills as they are. So of course, just like every single other agent in the game, you have to level up core. Core is her most important thing in the world. It's every single agent's most important thing. If you level up core to max, you unlock her full passive. So that's the reason why you level up core. So for her core, it's very, very important, as I said before, that you stack up a bunch of anomaly mastery, because if you do, you get a point increase on AP, and you also increase the whole squad's Abloom damage by 0.35%. This basically has no ceiling, so you can stack as much AM as you can to get a lot of AP and Abloom damage. That's the reason why you want to stack as much Anomaly Mastery as you can. Of course, if you can't, then that's totally fine, but I suggest that you do, just to get the bonuses from this. Also, the reason why you want to level up your core is because it's her Abloom damage. Her Abloom damage scales off of her core, so you want to level up your core, because if you do use Abloom, you deal 635% of the attribute anomaly damage. It is broken, and all you have to do is literally consume your Trial by Cold, which is just her passive. So yeah, 635% attack to your Abloom damage. That is really busted. So yeah, make sure you level up your core so that you're able to basically deal as much Abloom damage as you can, because it's very important. And now let's talk about the additional ability and the reason why you want to pair her up with well, her supports. So her conditional is Anomaly and Support. That is her condition to be in her additional ability, but it's very easy, and I suggest that you do so, because you're able to get a Ice Anomaly build-up rate of 30%, which is pretty nice. And also, when you trigger an EX, you also trigger a Abloom that ignores 40% of the target's defense. So basically, not only do you get the Ice Anomaly build-up rate by 30%, but if a squad member just triggers Abloom, which is basically free anyway if you are running like Nangong or Vivian, which are her best partners, then you trigger basically the 40% defense ignore. It also affects her as well, Promeia herself. So Promeia is able to ignore 40% defense. So that's the reason why you want to basically get her additional ability. It's very important to do so. So yeah. And as for the skills right here, besides the core, I leveled up EX because this is her most important thing in the world. You are going to be using a lot of execution EXs anyway when you are playing as her. Specifically, the EX Shrouded in Shadow. So basically, Shrouded in Shadow gives you a Trial by Cold stack, or basically right here, Corrosive Chill, which transforms into Trial by Cold. So right here, if you look at the core skill, you basically see when you trigger a Freeze or Disorder, or when you do a Vortex, or when you trigger Execution Shrouded in Shadow, which is right here, the EX, you basically get Trial by Cold stacks right there from your Corrosive Chill. So basically you get Corrosive Chill, and then you get Trial by Cold, and then you use Trial by Cold to do Abloom damage. That's basically it. So since she's going to be spamming EXs all the time anyway, and all of her attacks come from her EXs, you have to level up EX. This is her most important thing in the world. You have to level up, because if you level up EX, you do big damage. So yeah, and right here, Merciless Judgment, this is going to be your main source of damage. So if you have Trial by Cold, you hold the special button, or you hold the basic button, and then you deal big Abloom damage. That's basically it. So yeah, that's the reason why you have to level up EX and special. It's just all of her damage. All of her damage output comes from Ablooms and from the EX alone. So that's the reason why you level up your special. As for the other skills you want to level up, I guess you can level up ult. Her ult does a lot of damage right here. So yeah, you can do 100% anomaly attribute damage if you do chain, and then right here as well you do big damage, 250% attribute anomaly damage. So yeah, it's really good. I guess you can just level this up if you really want to, but most of the time you're gonna be using your EXs to deal damage. But she does accelerate her ult all the time anyway, because if you look at her core passive right here, you're able to get 100 decibels when she triggers Abloom. So if you really do want to, level up this second so that you're able to just take advantage of the big damage right there. So yeah, after you level up special, and if you really do have enough resources, you can just go for the ult if you really want to. So yeah. And as for equipment right here, I went with basically her best set right there, which is 4-piece Notes from the Chained, which is her best 4-piece set. It's really broken. So the 2-piece basically gives you ice damage percent, 10% ice damage. It's pretty basic. But her 4-piece is really good. So when she triggers Abloom, their anomaly proficiency increases by 48, lasting for 30 seconds. So for 48 anomaly proficiency is really broken right there. And you also, all you have to do is just trigger Abloom. It's free. It's literally free. Promeia does Ablooms all the time, so you literally get a 48 free anomaly proficiency, which is broken. When you repeat it, you basically refresh the duration, which is fine, because this means that she just has 100% uptime on her anomaly proficiency, which is pretty good. When the equipper triggers a freeze effect, and their all attribute anomaly damage and disorder damage increases by 16% for 30 seconds, repeated triggers reset the duration. So basically, when you trigger freeze, you just get a free 16% all attribute anomaly damage and disorder damage. So basically, you get a 48 AP increase as well as a 16% anomaly damage and disorder damage, which is pretty good for Promeia because she's going to be triggering a lot of freezes and a lot of disorder damage. So it's pretty good. So yeah. So that's the reason why you run the 4-piece. She's just going to be using Abloom. She's going to be doing disorder damage. She's going to be doing attribute damage. Yeah, this is literally the perfect set for her. So make sure you grind this 4-piece set if you do have Promeia. It is a really good set. As for the 2-piece set, since Promeia really wants Anomaly Mastery, which right here is her core right there, you basically get more AP and more Abloom damage. The best 2-piece set to give her is literally Faith and Melody. Faith and Melody is the 2-piece set. That is the best for Promeia because you get a 8% Anomaly Mastery bonus. That's literally it. No explanation needed. She needs AM. Give her the AM 2-piece. That's basically it. As for the W engine of choice, right here we have Frost Fall Sickle, which is Promeia's main W engine, her signature. It gives a 30% AM at level 60. She needs AM again to increase her Bloom damage and as well as increase her AP, which is pretty good. But her passive is also really good too. So when an ice attribute equipper uses a special or an EX special attack, their ice damage is increased by 20% for 40 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. So basically, you just get a 40% increased ice damage bonus as long as you do an EX or a special. That is broken. 40%. 40%! It is really busted. And also, at 2 stacks, if you get the max stacks of this passive, you get a increase of Bloom damage of 35%. So you basically get a 40% ice damage bonus and as well as a 35% of Bloom damage bonus. Yeah, you can see why this W engine is really good. It gives you 40% ice damage bonus and 35% of Bloom damage bonus. This means that Promeia is going to be hitting really hard as long as you use EX special or special attack twice. And literally, it lasts for 40 seconds. 40 seconds! This is 100% uptime. She has 100% uptime on these. This is just so broken. I suggest that if you are going to be pulling for Promeia, I suggest that you just pull for her W engine. Her W engine is super busted anyway. So yeah, that's basically it. And now it is time to showcase Promeia in some teams. So of course, I'm just going to be showcasing just 10 teams. I'm going to be showcasing her in her best teams and as well as some, well, awkward teams that she can run. But in the end, it's just Promeia. Well, you're going to be seeing how good she is in the game. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to go over to the showcase segment of the video. And I'm going to be starting off with Promeia's best team. Alrighty, so the first team I'm going to be showcasing right here is Promeia's definitive best team in the game, which is Promeia, Nangong, and Yuzuha. So I already discussed why Promeia is what she is in the build segment, so I'm just going to be explaining her teammates right here, which are Nangong and Yuzuha, and explain why these two are really good with Promeia. So I'm going to be starting off with Nangong first. So why is Nangong really good with Promeia? Nangong is basically a universal anomaly support. She supports anomaly agents. She triggers disorders. She triggers Ablooms. She debuffs enemies with all attribute res. She is literally the universal anomaly support. This is the reason why Nangong is one of the best anomaly supports in the game. And also, now that we're on the topic of one of the best anomaly supports in the game, we could talk about Yuzuha, who is also in the same ballpark as Nangong as being the best anomaly support in the game. So Yuzuha right here triggers disorders, increases all attribute damage, and she gives attack bonuses to the team. Specifically right here, if we go into her core passive, she gives off 1,200 attack to party members. 1,200 attack with 20% anomaly buildup rate and 20% just all attribute damage and disorder damage. It is busted. It is super busted. So basically, you have a character like Yuzuha who is buffing up all attribute damage and disorder damage with a 1,200 attack. And then right here, you have Nangong, who is basically buffing the whole team with basically just, well, debuffs. She debuffs the enemy, and then the whole squad just deals like a bunch of damage. So you basically get a 25% increased damage, and she also right here increases anomaly buildup. She also increases disorder damage, and she triggers Ablooms. It is really busted. So basically, what do you get if you have the two best anomaly supports in the game, and then you pair it up with Promeia? Yeah, this is what you get. You get destruction everywhere. So the reason why both of these two just work together with Promeia is because Promeia wants to triggers Ablooms. And well, Nangong triggers Ablooms on command. And also, right here, she also wants to trigger Disorder to get a lot of stacks to get her trial by colds. So basically, Yuzuha right here, she triggers Disorders anyway for the team. And also, since Nangong and Promeia hit so hard on their Ablooms and Disorders, yeah, Yuzuha's gonna be buffing those two, and they just do big damage. So basically, the whole team is just gonna be killing everything in sight. So yeah, that's basically it. So now it is time to showcase the team in action, and to showcase why this team is literally Promeia's best team. So, well, let's get started. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS. We have Nangong, who is the sub DPS and support. We have Yuzuha right here, who's the main support. As for Bang Boo of choice, we're going to be going with good old reliable Snap, because Snap is the best Bang Boo in the game. I keep repeating this over and over again, but it's true. He is the best Bang Boo in the game because he gives off attack bonuses as long as he's on the team. So, yeah, that's basically it. So, Promeia's gameplay style, as I explained in the build segment, Promeia's gameplay style is literally just throw her cape, and then you just hold the normal attack button if you do have her trial by colds. She can store up to 2 trial by colds. So, yeah, keep that in mind. But she can also use trial by cold if the meter is filled up too. So you can do, I think, a total of 4 trial by colds if you really want to. So yeah, well anyways, right here, if you see in the top left corner, she does have 2 trial by cold stacks, so we can just pop her EX every now, and we can pop out the EX into normal attack anytime we want. So yeah, but firstly, I'm gonna be trying to just debuff the enemy right here, and just do big damage, and then just use EX right here. And there we go. Alright, so we have a 20-second right there, Dead and Butcher. And see there, this team just does so much damage. 20 seconds! And we haven't even triggered a single Abloom yet. Keep in mind, we did trigger a single Abloom. Alright, so we're going to be going into Nangong. And we're going to be using EX. We have to use it. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we have basically just used her stacks. So that's pretty good. And now let's use the normal attack. Let's see how much damage it does. There you go. 1 million! You saw that, right? You saw that, right? 1 million Abloom. 1 million Abloom. Yeah, but there's nothing else to be said. This is literally Promeia's best team. You saw it right there. 1 million Abloom damage. And the enemy isn't even dazed. Which is what Nangong's full passive is. If Nangong did stun the enemy, we get extra damage bonuses. But that was on an unstunned enemy. 1 million! 1 million Abloom damage. Yeah, there's nothing else to be said. So there you go. That is Promeia's best team. I mean, there's literally a reason why it's the best team. So yeah, there you go. Well, anyways, I'm gonna be showcasing some more teams. I'm gonna be starting off with, of course, her second best team. So let's showcase that team. All right. So the next team I'm gonna be showcasing right here is Promeia's best team, which is literally just replace Nangong with Vivian. So, Vivian is just here if you don't have Nangong. She is a great substitute for Promeia because Vivian triggers Ablooms herself. So basically, if you trigger Ablooms, you get a bunch of Corrosive Chill, which in turn turns into Trial by Colds, which in turn gives Promeia her big Abloom damage. So both of these two just do Abloom damage, and they complement each other well. And since Vivian has really high anomaly buildup rate, this means that she's able to trigger her corruptions. And of course, her additional ability right here, if you take a look right here, gives off a 12% disorder damage of corruption, which is really good. This means that Promeia herself, her disorder damage is gonna be basically just hitting really hard. So yeah, and of course Yuzuha is here to buff these two because Yuzuha is one of the best anomaly supports in the game. 1200 attack with 20% anomaly buildup, damage boost, and as well as disorder damage. So yeah, that's basically why she is here. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase this team. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS. We have Vivian, who's the sub DPS. We have Yuzuha, who's the support. As for Bang Boo choice right here, we have Robin for his B skill, which gives off right here increased anomaly buildup of 180% at 5 stars. Yep. it's really, really good. So if you are running Vivian, I suggest that you run Robin, because Robin himself literally shoots cards, and that does ether damage for some reason. So yeah, the ether damage, apparently cards do ether damage. Well, anyways, this team is really, really easy to play, just like every other Promeia team. Except that for Vivian, you can't leave her alone for a while. As for Nangong, you have to swap into her every now and then. But for Vivian, she is low maintenance. All you have to do is literally just use an EX or parry with her, and that's basically it. So yeah, she's really, really easy to play. Well, anyways, let's showcase why this team is really, really good. Alrighty, so since we do have a double Abloom setup, this basically means that we can just go ham and just try to kill the enemy as fast as we can. Alright, so let's see if that Butcher actually attacks us right here. There we go, we triggered the cape attack, really, really nice. And now we see the damage. 600k Abloom, yep. That is a 17-second dead end Butcher. 17 seconds! Yeah, you see why this is really, really broken right here? It's just super, super busted. Anyways, we're gonna be using all of our support right here and just trigger the buffs. And now let's parry this again. There we go. And let's see how much damage this does. Yeah, 800k! 800k Ablooms! Yeah, you saw the damage right there, right? It's really, really busted. 41 seconds! 41 seconds dead end Butcher. Yeah, so if you don't have Nangong, you can use Vivian, who's a great substitute, as you see there. You still are able to just do big Abloom damage, despite Nangong giving buffs to the team and Vivian not. Vivian is still a really good substitute. You can't just run Vivian. It's right there. I mean, you saw the proof, right? 900k Abloom. That's basically it. So yeah. But anyways, that is it for well, the Promeia teams. I already showcased her best team and her second best team. So now it's time to showcase her with some other agents. So just in case you don't have Yuzuha on well, a Promeia team, you can substitute Yuzuha for other supports, and I'm gonna be showcasing that right here. So the next team I'm gonna be showcasing, well, won't have Yuzuha. So well, let's showcase some supports that work well with Promeia. Alright, so the next team I'm going to be showcasing right here is a team with Promeia and Sunna. So, just in case you don't have Yuzuha, of course, you can run Sunna as well. So, Sunna is really, really good on an anomaly team because she gives off 1050 attack to party members, which is really, really good. As everyone already knows, anomaly characters want attack so that they deal more damage on Ablooms, disorders, and attribute anomaly damage. So, that's the reason why. Sunna right here is a great support for them. 1050 attack, nothing to scoff at. Also, she's able to decrease the stun damage multiplier right here, increase it by 30% right there, which is a debuff to the enemy. It's really, really busted. It means that as long as her Ether Veil is still up, you're able to increase the damage herself. And also, since she is basically kind of like a sub DPS, since her cat is in the screen, her Tamagotchi, basically, Sunna is able to deal attribute anomaly damage herself, and you are able to trigger disorders if you really want to with Sunna. So basically, she just acts like a third sub DPS at this point if you do build her like an anomaly agent. So yeah, she's a really, really great support for these two. So yeah, and as for Nangong, of course, everyone already knows she's one of the best anomaly supports in the game. Abloom damage, disorder damage, debuffs to enemy, increases stun damage multiplier. You get the drill. Yeah, Nangong is here because, well, she's one of the best anomaly supports in the game, and she's also her best partner for Promeia. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase why this team is really good. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS. We have Nangong, who's the sub DPS. We have Sunna, who's the support Bangbu of choice. We're gonna be going with biggest fan for the anomaly build up on chain attack. It's really, really good. So yeah. Well, anyways, since we do have 2 Angels of Delusion characters, we can run biggest fan. But of course, as I always say all the time, just run Snap. But if you can't run Snap, then you run your second best Bangboos, which is basically, if you are running Vivian, you run Robin. If you are running well, a Nangong Sunna team, you run biggest fan. Yeah, you get the drill. But most of the time, you are going to be running Snap on these teams anyway. So yeah. Well, anyways, this team plays similarly to basically every other Promeia team. You swap in sometimes to your supports to trigger their buffs. And then Promeia does all the work for herself, which means that, well, you're going to be seeing a lot of Promeia on-field action. Anyways, we're going to be activating the Ether Veil. And we're going to be waiting for Dead End Butcher to attack right there. There we go. Nice. Now we see the damage. 600k. Yeah. 200k shatter. That is, well, the damage I expected from Promeia. So yeah, as you see there, Promeia is really busted. As you see, I mean, that was a basically under 20-second first phase of Dead and Butcher. Anyways, we're going to be using Nangong. We're going to be going into Sunna and then going into a shoulder-to-shoulder to a cape attack. And we're going to be seeing if Dead and Butcher actually attacks us right here. There we go. Alright, we triggered the EX. So now let's see the damage. Right there, 900k Ablooms. 900k Abloom again. Yeah, that is the damage that I expected with Promeia. And remember, keep in mind that every time you trigger an Abloom, you get 100 decibels back, which means that Promeia is able to spam her ult. So yeah. Well, anyways, there we go. 45 seconds on Dead and Butcher. As you see there, if you don't have Yuzuha, you can use Sunna. Sunna is a great substitute for Yuzuha. So yeah, they work really well together. So yeah, there we go. There's the proof. Well, anyways, now let's move on to the next support to showcase with Promeia. Alright, so the next team we're going to be showcasing right here is a Promeia team with Astra Zhao. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows Astra Zhao is one of the best supports in the entire game. 1200 attack, trigger quick assist for the team. When she does her ult, she triggers basically chain attacks. So yeah, she is really busted. She also heals too, just in case you get hit. So yeah, she's basically just a universal support for the team. She's just really good in basically any team you put her in. And for the Promeia team, it's no exception. She's going to be buffing Promeia and Nangong in turn. This means that both of them are going to be doing big damage. So, yeah. Well, anyways, I already explained that. Now, let's explain Nangong. Well, Nangong is one of the best Anami supports in the game. So, yeah, you basically combine these two together to Promeia, and Promeia is going to be doing big damage. So, yeah, really nothing else to be said there. Well, anyways, now let's showcase the team. So, we have Promeia, who's the main DPS. We have Nangong, who's the sub DPS and support. We have Astra Zhao, who's the main support. Bingbo choice is going to be Snap for the damage boost. Well, anyways, well, let's get into it. So, Astra Zhao is literally the easiest support to play in the entire game. You literally, all you have to do is swap into her, press one button, and forget about her until you get her ult, obviously. But other than that, yeah, it's just basic gameplay. You just do nothing with Astra Zhao. The Astra Zhao just attack the enemy sometimes off field, and then, of course, abuse her quick swap mechanic to just do big damage. So yeah. Well, anyway, since this team is going to be quick swapping a lot anyway, this means that we are able to just switch into Nangong and then switch back to Promeia with ease and just do big damage. So anyways, we're going to be swapping into Astra Zhao, and we're going to be just doing damage right here. So we're going to be swapping into Nangong, swap back right there, and then just trigger the cape attack. Alright, let's see how much damage this does. 500k! 500k, yeah. And we're going to be going into Nangong. So we're going to be doing the charge attack. There we go. We can swap in. Nice. Alrighty. So we trigger corruption. Pretty good. That was basically a under 30-second first phase. Not that bad, I would say. So yeah, so far so good. Alright, so now let's swap into Nangong. Let's swap into Promeia. Hopefully Dead and Butcher attacks. There we go. Alrighty. Trigger the cape attack. You want to trigger that cape attack all the time. You just have to. Alright, so now we go into Nangong and do our charge attacks. 300k disorder. That's pretty good. Alright, we're going to be using the cape attack again and just do big damage. Alrighty, 800k Abloom. And yeah, that's basically it. That was that a 50-second Dead and Butcher? Oh, that was a minute Dead and Butcher. That's still really good. So yeah, as you see there, despite not having well, Sunna and Yuzuha, you can use Astra Zhao. Astra Zhao fits really well. As you see there, we're able to do like 800k disorders and 800k Ablooms. So yeah, that's basically it. Astra Zhao with Promeia works really well. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it is time to move on to the next support to showcase. Alrighty, so the next team I'm going to be showcasing right here is Promeia with her fellow well, judge of Krampus, Zhao. So, Zhao right here is really good because she gives 1k attack to party members. You're starting to see the trend here. Basically, every single support that we're going to be showcasing right here gives off attack to party members. Specifically, over 1k attack. And Zhao is no exception. Zhao gives 1k attack to party members. But also, she gives off a total of 50% additional damage bonus as long as she has her Ether Veil up and she is above 27k HP, which is really well, it's not well, easy to get 27k HP, but it can be done. Well, right here, I'm going to be showcasing right here. Yes, my Zhao is at 27k HP right there, 27k HP. So it's not that hard to get 27k HP, but if you do, you get the full passive of her additional ability, which right here gives you a 50% increased damage bonus to just all your attacks in general. This means that as long as her Ether Veil is up, you just get the bonus up, and in turn it just supports these two, which is Promeia and Vivian. So you can't run Nangong with Promeia because Promeia's additional ability is really awkward. It has to be an anomaly or support character. Nangong is a stun character. This means that she can't pair up with Zhao on this team. So you have to go with the second best option, which is Vivian. Vivian pairs up perfectly with Promeia because Promeia is right here. Well, let's see her additional ability. You need an anomaly character. Vivian is your anomaly character. So yeah, you're able to pair up Promeia with Vivian on a Zhao team. So yeah. Well, anyways, well, let's talk about why Vivian's here. So Vivian, besides being the second best option, obviously, and also she is here just to pair up with Zhao. She triggers Ablooms. Of course, Ablooms really good for Promeia, which gives her the stack she needs to just trigger Trial by Colds. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. She gains Corrosive Chill, which turns into Trial by Colds. So yeah. Well, anyways, now let's just showcase the team. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS, Vivian, who's the sub DPS, Zhao, the support, being boo of choice. We're gonna be going with Robin because we do have right here Vivian on the team. Robin only needs one, just one Mockingbird agent, and Vivian is the Mockingbird agent. So yeah. Alrighty, so let's just showcase the team. So, just like every single other team, Zhao is also kind of low maintenance. You swap into her sometimes to use her EXs, so she's able to just generate Ether Veils. So, yeah, for Zhao, you want to just generate as much Ether Veils as you can. And of course, if you are running her 4-piece set, which is the Bunny set, you want to parry sometimes, so that you're able to trigger the passive of that 4-piece set. So yeah. Well, anyways, this team is just going to be functioning just like before with every single other team that we showcased so far, which is just Promeia just does the main damage, and then you just swap in sometimes with the others. So anyways, we're going to be doing that right here. Let's use Vivian, and let's go into Promeia. And let's see if we were able to trigger the cape attack. That was bad. There we go. Alright, well, that was 400k Abloom. Okay, there we go. 17 seconds on Dead End Butcher. We didn't trigger the cape attack, but that was fine. Promeia already does a lot of damage anyway, but I suggest that you do use the Vital View cape attack because it does give her extra corrosive chill. So that's the reason why you use it. Anyways, we're going to be doing that right here. We get some extra corrosive chill to do a bloom. So there we go. 700k Abloom. 700k Abloom. Yeah, it's really, really good. Alright, so we're going to be pairing right here too. This triggers the passive. And now let's use the ult. We haven't seen the ult, so might as well just showcase the ult. And there we go. Nice. 200k Abloom. And just finish it off right there with a normal attack on cape. So yeah, there we go. Promeia right there, as you see there on a Zhao team, really, really good. 52-second Dead End Butcher, as you see there. So yeah, well, you saw right there, Zhao with Promeia works really, really well. Even with Vivian. Vivian also works really well with Promeia, as you see there. So yeah. Well, anyways, there is one more support I want to showcase on a Promeia team. And after that, we're going to be showcasing Promeia with some other sub-DPSs other than Nangong and Vivian. So yeah. Well, anyways, let's showcase the last support. Alrighty, so the last, team I'm going to be showcasing right here with the support is Promeia with Soukaku. So just in case you don't have those premium supports, you can gravitate towards a free-to-play support, which right here is Soukaku. So Soukaku is really, really good because she gives, again, 1k attack to party members. Yeah, I mean, it should be obvious, right? All of these supports that we showcase right here give attack to party members, and Soukaku is no exception. So yeah, Soukaku gives 1k attack to Promeia, and then Promeia is able to pop off like crazy, but that's not the reason why Soukaku is really, really good on a Promeia team. It's because of her additional ability. So, her additional ability is when you consume your Vortex to fly the flag, you get a ice damage bonus of 20% for 22 seconds. It is really, really busted. On top of that as well, if you have her at Mindscape 4, you get a 10% Ice Res Shred on the enemy. This means that Promeia's Blooms and Freezes are going to be doing massive damage. And remember, Soukaku is a free-to-play unit. So yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot of damage with Soukaku. And of course Nangong is here because Nangong is one of the best anomaly supports in the game. So yeah, and also she's here just to be a sub DPS. Well anyways, now it's time to showcase this team in action. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS, we have Nangong, who's the sub DPS support, we have Soukaku, who's gonna be the main support. Bangbu of choice, we're gonna be going with good old reliable Snap, because Snap is the best Bangbu in the game. So yeah. Well, anyways, this team is much more involved than the others. If you notice the trend, the teams that I showcased are mostly passive supports. So like Sunna, you just do EXs sometimes and leave her alone. For Zhao, you activate her Ether Veil, leave her alone. For Astra, you literally just press one button and leave her alone. And of course, Yuzuha, you use EXs sometimes and then leave her alone for a while. But for Soukaku, you have to actively use her. So yeah, you have to swap into her every now and then because your vortex stacks or your buffs don't last as long. It lasts for 40 seconds, which you think is long, but it's not really. Especially since Soukaku using an EX is not safe. As you see here, we're going to be showcasing why it's not safe. Because look at this. It's so slow. It's so slow. But if you do pop it off, you get damage numbers like this. Yeah. So it's really, really good. Anyways, we're going to be going into Nangong and just debuff the enemy. And let's use EXs. Right there. That's 50k Disorder. Alright. There we go. Alright, that was a 400k Disorder. We haven't seen the Abloom damage yet, so I guess I'll try to use that once we are able to just attack the Dialyn Butcher. Alrighty, so let's go to Soukaku. And let's use a triple EX. And to fly the flag, there we go, nice. Go into Nangong. Use EX, and then use the debuffs. Alright, let's go into ult with Promeia. Let's see how much damage this does. There we go, that was 100k Abloom damage. Really, really good. Alright, let's go into Soukaku. And then we'll go into Promeia into Nangong. And that should finish off Dialyn Butcher. Alrighty. So we're gonna be doing the charge attack. Oh, never mind. Nangong just destroys the enemy because she's just way too good in this game. So yeah. Well, there you go. A minute and 15 seconds. As you see there, you can't use Soukaku on a Promeia team. It was kind of a scuffed run, but I mean, you saw the damage right there. It's really, really good if you are able to just get everything off, especially if the enemy is stunned. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the the supports that well, I will showcase with Promeia. So now it's time to move on to just alternate sub DPS options. So just in case you don't have Vivian and Nangong, you can run these anomaly agents. So anyways, well, let's just showcase the anomaly agents in question. So well, let's move on to the next team to showcase. Alrighty, so the next thing we're going to be showcasing right here is a Promeia team with Yanagi. So if you don't have Nangong or Vivian, you can substitute with Yanagi, which is a pretty solid agent, I would say, on a Promeia team. Yanagi deals disorder damage, which in turn gives Promeia her corrosive chill stacks to turn it into trial by colds, which in turn give her Abloom damage. So that's basically why Yanagi is here. She's basically just your typical anomaly sub DPS. As for Yuzuha right here, Yuzuha is going to be supporting these two. I already explained before, but Yuzuha is one of the best anomaly supports in the game. 1200 attack, 20% anomaly damage bonus, and as well as a 20% disorder damage bonus, which these two will capitalize upon really, really well. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase the team in action. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS. We have Yanagi, who's the sub DPS. We have Yuzuha, who's going to be the support. Main move of choice is going to be Snap. You're going to be seeing Snap a lot anyway. I mean, you probably already saw him like over 5 times. So yeah. Well, anyways, this team is going to be really easy to play. But it's not as low maintenance as Vivian and Nangong. You have to swap into Yanagi sometimes to get her EXs up, so she's able to do big damage on the enemy. So yeah, but other than that, she functions well on this team because, well, Promeia is going to be your main damage dealer, and Yanagi will just sit back and basically wait until her energy is up to do EXs. So it's a pretty good playstyle, I would say, for the team. Anyways, let's just showcase how good the team is. Alrighty, the first thing we're going to be doing, of course, is setting up Yuzuha. So let's set up Yuzuha. Right there. Go into Promeia. And we're going to have to trigger at least one anomaly. So we're going to be going for it right here. So there you go. We got Shatter. Really good. So now we can go into Yanagi and use EX. Right there. 200k disorders. 200k disorder. Yeah. Right there, as you see there, the playstyle is really easy to use. Yanagi is just really busted. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be going into Yuzuha again, and then just get the buffs up. There we go, nice. Go into Yanagi using EX. There we go, nice. You have to trigger some anomaly build up. So yeah, there we go. 800k Abloom! 800k Abloom! Let's use ult and finish this off. Alrighty, there you go. 300k Abloom and just do the normal attack. So yeah, there you go. As you see there, Yanagi works really well with Promeia. As you see there, 47 seconds. Even though we only use Yanagi's EX twice in that whole, well, a boss battle. But other than that, I mean, as you see there, Yanagi with Promeia works really well. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase the last, well, sub DPS I can showcase with Promeia, and then we'll move on to two teams, which is just Krampus and as well as the free-to-play team. So anyway, so let's showcase the last sub DPS that works well with Promeia. Alrighty, so the last thing I'm going to be showcasing right here with Promeia with sub DPSs is Promeia and Burnice. So Burnice is in the same ballpark as Yanagi and being a sub DPS. If you don't have Nangong, if you don't have Vivian, you can run Burnice. Burnice functions basically similarly to well, just any typical sub DPS. You literally use your flamethrowers on the enemy to basically get fuel, and then the fuel depletes automatically, and then you swap into her every now and then to just bring the fuel back up. But she literally just triggers burn off field. That's literally what she does, and in turn, this gives the chance for Promeia to do disorder damage, which this means that, yeah, these two just work hand in hand together. Burnice won't be on field for that long, and then Promeia just does all the work. So yeah, basically just your typical sub DPS. As for Yuzuha right here, I already explained it. Yeah, Yuzuha, 1200 attack, 20% anomaly damage boost, and 20% disorder. That's basically all I need to say. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase the team in action. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS, Burnice, who's the sub DPS, Yuzuha, the support. Bang of choice, snap. So let's do this. So the well, for Burnice, you can trigger one of two things. One, you can use your EX, or two, you can hold your basic attack. I suggest that you just use EX, because holding the basic attack, it takes forever. But it also gives her her passive if you do have her hidden potential unlocked. So yeah, you can just use the hold to do her passive, and she attacks off field. So yeah, it's pretty good. If you swap in, she attacks, so it's pretty nice. But most of the time, Promeia is just gonna be doing her damage, and then you swap into Burnice sometimes. So yeah, basically just your typical Promeia team. Anyways, let's showcase the team. So we have right here, we're gonna be using Yuzuha to debuff the enemy. There we go. Go into Burnice. We're gonna be doing the hold attack to swap in. There we go, nice. Let's use the cape attack. Pretty good. And now let's see how much damage we do. 600k Abloom! Yeah, another 600k! That is a 18-second dead end butcher. Yeah, Burnice, as you see there, Burnice is good. Burnice is really good. So yeah, if you don't have Nangong or you don't have Vivian, you can use Burnice. Burnice is a really good substitute. Okay, so we're gonna be fueling up right here. And we're gonna be doing it again, because we need to fuel the canister up. There we go. Let's use EX right there. Pretty good. And let's do the damage. 600k disorder, 800k Abloom, and let's finish it off with an ult. Just because why not? We already have our ult. There we go. Really easy. So yeah, as you see there, this team is really good. That was a 49-second dead end butcher with Burnice, by the way. So yeah, well, as you see there, if you don't have good sub DPSs, you can just substitute for just another sub DPS, and Promeia is fine. So yeah, there we go. Well, anyways, that is it for all the teams to showcase. Now we have two more teams to showcase with Promeia. So starting off, we're gonna be showcasing a meme team, and that is Promeia on Krampus team. So let's just showcase that. Alrighty, so the next team I'm going to be showcasing right here is the Krampus team. So Krampus is a meme team, and you can see why this is a meme team. It's because none of these agents besides Zhao works well with anyone in Krampus. So, well, let's explain one by one why this team just doesn't work, starting off with Promeia. So Promeia's additional ability, she wants an anomaly or support character. Zhao is a defense character. This means that Promeia can't even link up with them. This means that all Promeia gets is just her core passive. So she basically misses out on her additional ability, which gives her anomaly build-up rate. and also deals 40% defense ignore on Ablooms. This means that her Ablooms hit weaker now. So yeah, that's basically why she is getting heavily nerfed on a Krampus team. As for Dialyn, Dialyn wants to be paired up with Attack and Ruptures. Guess what? This is an anomaly team. So this means that she loses her additional ability, which means that her damage output sucks now. And also, well, she can't really support the team in general. So the only thing that she's able to do is just give ult to Promeia, and that's basically it. As for Zhao, Zhao is the lucky one, because at least with Zhao, you're able to pair up with anomalies. So this means that you are able to get at least a 50% increased damage for the party members. But other than that, you literally just get a meme team. That's it. Promeia, Dialyn, and Zhao, it's a meme team. With Banyue, however, it's a different story because you actually can run Krampus with Banyue. But with Promeia, it's a different story. With Promeia, you can't run Krampus. So Krampus is a meme team for Promeia. Well, anyways, despite being a meme team, I'm going to be still showcasing this because why not? It's funny. Anyways, let's showcase the team. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS. We have Dialyn, who's going to be the support. We have Zhao, who's going to be another support for Krampus. Bangbu of choice. This is the Krampus team. So we run the Krampus Bangbu, which is Brick Blick, which gives right here. Just, I'm pretty sure it just does Daze Inflict. So basically the enemy gets stunned faster. So yeah. He's mainly ran with Dialyn Banyue, but, well, Brick Blick doesn't really work well with Promeia. So yeah, this is also another meme Bangbu pick. But since we are running Krampus team, we have to go full Krampus. So yeah, we have to use Brick Blick. Alrighty, so let's showcase the team in action. So since we don't have Promeia's additional ability active, this means that her damage is going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. So yeah, keep in mind that we are going to be seeing 800k Ablooms, 1 million Ablooms, 900k Ablooms. I bet she's probably going to do like, what, like 100k or 200k. So yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of damage fall off on this team. Alright, so let's parry right here with Promeia. We're going to be using EX right here. There we go. Nice. We're able to dodge it. Right there, 300k Abloom. That was another 300k Abloom. Yep. Even though despite being on a Krampus team, she's doing okay. But, well, for Promeia, you want to expect her to see like 500k on basically just Ablooms or 900k, 800ks. But in this team, the max that she can get is literally just, well, basically near the 300k, 400k range. So yeah, really nothing special to it. All right, so let's use the Dialyn thing on Promeia. Do big damage. Let's go to another ult. Since we do have another ult active, so now we are able to do this. Right there, 300k Abloom. Yep, that was some unexpected damage. All right, let's use ult, and we have Zhao's Ether Veil up, so we can't swap into her. So there we go, swap in, go into Promeia, and let's see if Dead and Butcher attacks. Alright, never mind, he got frozen. There you go, now he attacks. Alright, so you triggered the cape, now we just do big damage, 400k Abloom. Alright, let's do it again. And there we go. Alright, so yeah, that team is an okay team, I guess. I mean, you still have Dialyn, who's like one of the most broken agents in the game. So I guess you can't really complain there. And Promeia is self-sufficient enough to just do big damage on the enemy without teammates. So I guess if you really do want to run this Mimi Krampus team, then yes, you can run this and do decently well enough. So yeah, as you see there, a minute 15 seconds. It's not that bad despite being a meme team. So yeah, right there, I mean, Promeia on Krampus team, it's not the best team in the world. But if you really want to go Mimi, then I guess you can't go wrong with Krampus if you really want to. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it is time to showcase the last team of the showcase segment, and that is the Promeia free-to-play team. Alrighty, so the last team I'm going to be showcasing right here is a Promeia free-to-play team. So the reason why this is a free-to-play team is because Zhao and Soukaku are literally free to get. For Zhao, you literally just have to log into the game when Shengguang's banner was out. As for Soukaku, all you have to do is reach Internaut level 20, and you get Soukaku for free. So yeah, these two are literally free-to-play agents. So, well, I already explained why these two are really, really good, but I'll explain it again right here, just a quicker version. So Zhao, 1k attack, 50% damage to all party members if her Ether Veil is active. That's basically it. For Soukaku, 1k attack to the party member of your choice on the quick assist. You also get a 20% ice damage boost, as well as a 10% ice res shred if you have her at Mindscape 4. So yeah, these two go hand in hand together. They'll support Promeia, and these two are kind of low maintenance characters, except for Soukaku. So yeah, this means that Promeia is going to be able to do some decent damage on the enemy, but since Zhao and Soukaku are pretty busted supports, I'm pretty sure Promeia is going to be hitting really, really hard on this team. So yeah, well anyways, now it's time to showcase the Promeia free-to-play team. So we have Promeia, who's the main DPS. We have Zhao, who's going to be the support. Soukaku is also going to be a support, so we have a 2 support comp right here. Bang Boo of choice is going to be Snap. Every single Bang Boo is a free-to-play Bang Boo. I'm pretty sure everyone is going to be saying this. Yes, pull for Snap first if you are new to the game. Snap is the best Bang Boo in the game. If you have Snap, you can just slap them on any single team, and then you just boost the damage of your party members. So yeah, it's really, really good. Other than that, yeah, Bang Boos are literally free to play. You literally get Boopons by just playing the game. So yeah. Anyways, let's showcase this free-to-play team. So, it's going to be basically similar right here. We're going to be swapping to Zhao, and then we're going to be swapping into Soukaku, and then just buff up Promeia. So, let's do it. So, swap into Zhao, swap into Soukaku, let's consume the Vortex stacks, go into Promeia. Alrighty, so now, we're going to be doing some damage. So right here, 200k Abloom. Another 200k Abloom. Really, really good. Alright, let's see the damage right there. 300k Shatter! Yeah, I see there, Promeia is really, really good. And that was basically a under 25 second phase 1 on Dead End Butcher. So yeah. Of course, we're going to be using Zhao's EX to build up some stuff. Let's use EX right here for Soukaku. Get some Vortex stacks. And now we have to wait a bit to trigger the quick assist. There we go. And we're able to just do big damage right here. Alrighty, nice. Alright, let's do ult. Might as well. Alright, let's see the damage. That was 100k, 800. No, that was not 800k. That was 1k Abloom, I'm pretty sure. Alrighty, so let's use ult with Soukaku, because we are at a vulnerable spot and we are able to swap in for free if we're able to do this. There we go. Let's see the Abloom damage on this Promeia. There you go, 500k Abloom. Yeah, that is still really, really good damage, I would say. So yeah, 500k Abloom on this team. Remember, this is a free-to-play team. So yeah, that was some really, really good damage. 1 minute and 9 seconds. Not that bad on a free-to-play team. So yeah. So there we go. I see there Promeia with Zhao and Soukaku as a free-to-play team. It's doable. So yeah, you're able to do big damage. It's a really good team, I would say, if you are able to sacrifice your Zhao and Soukaku for a Promeia on hard content. So yeah. So there we go. That is Promeia with basically the team showcases. So now it's time to move on to the Hollow Zero segment. So without any further ado, let's move on to Hollow Zero. Alrighty, so here we are in Hollow Zero. So this time I'm going to be using the periodic Hollow Zero because this, well, Operation Matrix is very interesting. This is a mist operation matrix. This means that every time you enter a mist area, you're basically increasing your stats. You increase your attack, your crit damage, your AP, and your sheer damage as long as you enter a mist area. This means that we're going to be hitting every single mist area in this Hollow Zero to just increase the damage that Promeia is able to deal. So yeah, but anyways, besides that, we have Ether Activity 8, of course. As you see here in the exploration missions, you have to complete it with Ether Activity 8 in order to get the rewards. So that's why we have Ether Activity 8 right here to just right here, just challenge ourselves a bit. So right here, this is all the Operation Matrix stuff that I chose, the Ether activities. So we have reduce agents' energy and decibels if they get hit, self-destructing normal and elite enemies, higher days limits, the boss's attacks will increase in damage after a certain period of time, miasmic shield, we also have miasmic contamination increase, anomaly build-up res, increase, and as well as just enhancements to all stats on the enemies. So yeah, well anyways, I'm pretty sure we're able to beat this Hollow Zero because Promeia is just really, really broken, I would say. In Hollow Zero, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna be running just a standard Promeia team, so the best Promeia team in the game. So that means we're gonna be running Promeia, Nangong, and of course Yuzuha right here. So this is gonna be the team we're gonna be running, Promeia's best team. Bang Boo of choice, of course, we're going to be going with Snap. Snap is the best Bang Boo in the game. As for the auxiliary agent, we're going to be going with Burnice. Because Burnice is able to just reduce the anomaly buildup res of enemies. You're able to deal disorders and as well as just do big damage. So yeah, it's really, really good. And also right here, you're able to actually, right here, increase days, which is really good for Nangong because she wants to stun the enemy. So yeah, Burnice is actually pretty good pick for an auxiliary agent. So we're going to be using Burnice. Anyways, well, before we get this started, I'm pretty sure we have to talk about the Promeia, stuff, which I'm pretty sure is going to be in the right here. I guess we can just start the challenge and then I'll just explain what her gear does for Promeia's gear. So because Promeia's gear is actually really good, we always have to talk about the gear in Hollow Zero. Promeia is one of those characters that have special gear, so that's the reason why we are going to be talking about Promeia's gear. As soon as, of course, we are able to get the chance to pick our gear for Promeia. So anyways, there we go. Let's see it in action. Alrighty. So let's talk about the gear for Promeia. So Promeia, we have these 3 gears right here. So let's talk about all of these. So the Whirlwind Judgment, basically this is just your typical DPS one. So after you use a Execution Merciless Judgment, she's able to recover 15 additional Corrosive Chill. And when triggering an EX special attack Shrouded in Shadow, she recovers an additional 15 additional Corrosive Chill. So basically, it's the EX where she goes into Vital View. If you do that, you get basically a 30 additional Corrosive Chill as long as you just do EXs. When you trigger Ablooms, your Abloom increases by 6%, stacking up to 10 times with a 60% increased Abloom damage. This is just your DPS equipment. Her Alpha basically gives her increased anomaly damage by 12%, disorder damage increases by 12%, and it stacks up to 5 times. So basically, you get a net total of 60% for each anomaly damage as well as disorder damage. For Beta, you get an anomaly damage increase by 32.5% and disorder damage increase by 32.5%, stacking up to 2 times, lasting for 30 seconds as long as you do a special attack execution. So basically, it's either you do a Merciless Judgment or you do Shrouded in Shadow. Since we're going to be doing Shrouded in Shadow most of the time anyway, we're going to be choosing this. So yeah, for Beta. As for the second equipment, we have Frostbound Shadow. So you don't recover Corrosive Chill, but you recover an additional Corrosive Chill every time. So basically, you can't use moves to recover Corrosive Chill, you just gain it passively. When you switch on field, you replace the normal switch in with a special Layered Frost Execution, which she triggers once every 10 seconds. When you use an EX, a special attack execution, Merciless Judgment, the ice res reduce is 24, and repeated triggers reset the duration. So basically, this is just basically turning Promeia into a sub DPS. So yeah, this is a sub DPS Promeia equip. Her Alpha gives the whole squad 300 attack and ice damage increase by 10% for 15 seconds. This means that Promeia is able to just become a sub DPS support hybrid. Her Beta, basically, when you use a special attack execution Layered Frost, you inflict Ether, Electric, Fire, Physical, Ice, or Wind. You trigger an additional Abloom with a fixed total of 650% of the multiplier of that attribute anomaly damage. So basically, yeah, she just becomes a sub DPS at that point. She's just a sub DPS support hybrid if you run this gear. As for the execution finale, when you trigger a stun, Promeia triggers a additional 5 Corrosive Chill. Her attribute anomaly damage increased by 60% and disorder damage increases by 60%. This is good if you are running with Nangong. So this is probably going to be your second pick if you are able to get a Rezonia for Promeia. As for the Alpha, you basically ignore 35% defense on a stunned enemy and you get a 15% ice res reduction on Promeia. So it's really, really good. It means that you just deal more damage on the stunned enemy. For Beta, you basically increase your disorder damage by additional 60% and the whole squad's vortex damage increases by 60%. So basically this is good if you are running her on a basically just a win team or you're running her with Nangong. So yeah, but the best equipment I would say for her is probably going to be this. Since you're going to be on field with Promeia a lot, Whirlwind Judgment is her best one. So I am going to be going with Whirlwind Judgment. That's basically all of her gear. So the first one is just your main DPS one. Second one is a sub DPS Promeia. Third one is literally just Promeia if you are able to stun the enemy. So yeah, it's really, really good. Anyways, that's basically it. So now let's go on and see our things. So let's go with the I guess we could go with the... If you get launched no more than 5 times. Since we are going to be using Vital View a lot, I'm pretty sure we aren't going to be getting hit a lot. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to be going on to the right this time. So remember that our Rezonia is that we have to go into mist areas. So we have to go into mist areas all the time, all day. So yeah. Oh, so we have an encounter node. Pretty good. So we have a salesperson. Alright, so this is a HP shop. So let's see what we have right here. We have Anomaly. That's really good. Let's take that. Let's take the, let's do a refresh. Yeah, we didn't get anything good. So let's just take the support ones. There we go. Alright. Should be good to go. Alright, so the next area, another mist area. So we have to hit as much mist areas as we can because the more mist areas we go into, the higher our damage is able to become. So yeah, we are gonna be basically just going into more mist areas. So anyways, this is a combat zone. So, well, now we can actually showcase some damage, finally. So let's see the EX right here. By the way, the good thing about Promeia's EX is that you're able to gather up enemies. It's really good. So basically, if someone's attacking you right here, you just do this, and then you just do big damage. And there we go. That's pretty good. Alright. So we have, I think yeah, this is the final wave of enemies. So let's use Nangong. Swap into Yuzuha. And swap into Promeia. And just use an EX. I use EX sometimes if there is a mob battle because she does gather them up. It's a really great crowd control move if you are able to expend the energy for it. Anyways, we're gonna be refreshing. Let's see what we get here. Let's go into well, let's do another Actually, I guess we can go with the stun one because we are running Nangong, yeah. So might as well just go with the stun one. Anyways, let's keep going with more mist areas. Alrighty. Well, let's see what we get here. Hopefully, some more chances to get Rezonia would be good. Alright. Okay, so this is a rest stop. Alright, we're gonna be going with the one Rezonium. Let's see what we get here. We'll take the attack. Increased attack is really good. It just means that our anomaly H's are gonna be doing more damage. So yeah. Alrighty, let's see what else we got here. Hopefully we get some lucky streaks of, lucky streaks. Alright, so we got a combat coin area. Yep. Okay, so this is a golden Mingbu one. Okay, nice. Alright, let's use EX. Let's gather them up. And see there? Look at how well she gathers up the enemies. It's really busted. Alright, let's go into, charge attack. We're gonna be going into an EX with Nangong. And that should be good to go, I would say. Alright, there we go. And nice. That was pretty quick. So yeah, Promeia basically rarely gets hit, if not at all, because Promeia is just way too good. When she throws her cape, she basically has right here, if you do like the land attack, if she does the plunge, when she like reappears with her cape, she basically gets free invincibility! Free invincibility! It's so busted. Anyways, we're gonna be doing EX. Right there. We're gonna be using ult. We're gonna have to lock down Hugo. So yeah, let's see. Let's see how much damage we're able to do. Alright. There we go. Nice. We do have to dodge a bit right here. Because if we get hit, this means that we get we don't get the passive. Or we don't get the buff. Alright, so let's do this. Nice. We're gonna be going here. Luckily, Nangong has invincibility in the air, so that's really good. I think we got hit 2 times, so hopefully... Oh, right here. Let's use an EX. Okay, never mind. We got hit 4 times now, so yeah, now we have to actually take this seriously. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, Hugo is really tough to deal with, I would say. Especially since I haven't fought him in so long. They rarely use Hugo in Chia defense. So yeah, this might take me maybe like a couple tries, but I will try my best here. I'm probably just gonna lock in for this fight in general because we don't really have a lot of Rezonium that will buff us up anyway. So yeah, we have to just take this fight seriously. And besides, we do have that Rezonium that should be able to help us right here. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be using EX right here. Yep. And I'm not gonna be talking as much for this one. So yeah, we're gonna be actually locking in. So let's do EX right here. Let's do ult.
This is the will of Krampus.
Alright. That should be good. Alright, nice. Let's do another hold attack. Let's do EX right there. Pretty good. There we go. Nice. Let's do Burnice. Just get the free ult on Burnice. There we go. Nice. Right. Okay, let's go to Nangong. Let's try to stun Hugo. Alright, his miasma shield should be basically gone once we use Nangong's ult. There we go, nice. We go into Nangong. Then we go into Yuzuha, into ult. Luckily we used the ult because Hugo immediately attacked us. So yeah, that's really, really bad if we do that. Anyways, we're gonna be parrying right here. Of course. There we go, nice. And we have one more to go to. There we go, alright. There we go, nice. Now we go into EX and then just do another Nangong loop. There we go. Alright, good. We're getting some disorder damage, finally. Let's do another EX right here. There we go, another hold attack. That was that 1 million Abloom? I think that was 1 million Abloom. That's really, really good. Let's do another charge attack. Luckily for us, Promeia is invincible when she actually does the EX move. So yeah, that's the reason why it's really, really safe to throw that out every now and then. Because while also having you trigger well, dodges in general, you are able to just dodge attacks with it. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be doing another EX right here. There we go. We got some kind of free invincibility frames off of that. Anyways, we're gonna be doing another EX. Really, really good. Yeah, so that EX is really good because Vital View. Vital View is just super, super good in general. Alright. Alright. So we're gonna be doing another set of charges with Nangong. And then just do another ult. And then maybe we should stun Hugo. Hugo should be stunned this turn. I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's do a parry right here. Let's do another parry. We're gonna be swapping into Yuzuha right here. And then just use an ult. Alright, there we go. Nice. Alright, there we go. Okay. We used the EX in desperation, but I think we finally did it right there. That was, I think that was good. We got it. Yep. Alright, we don't have to worry about that anymore. So, we're gonna be going with the, we're gonna be going with the, Shrouded by Shadow. Because, again, with Shrouded by Shadow, we just do the Vital View attack, which is really, really good. Anyways, we're gonna be going with the, Refresh, because this was pretty bad. We're gonna be going with the Execution Finale, because at least if the enemy is stunned, we're able to just capitalize on that. Alright, we're gonna be refreshing. I guess we could take the, I'll take the attack increase, I guess. Alright, let's just take that. Alright, A rank, yep. We didn't finish in 2 minutes because we don't really have a lot of Resonium to use. We didn't have the good Resonium. So yeah. Well, anyways, that was a okay first, phase. Our first stage. That wasn't too bad, but we did die. So yeah, that was kind of terrible for us. Anyways, we got Promeia right here. So we do get her Resonium. Pretty cool right there. We got Promeia Resonium, which buffs her up. This means that Promeia is gonna be performing at her absolute best. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be going with the damage. We got the Ignore Defense and Ice Red Shred. I guess we can go for that because well, we can't do disorder damage, but it would be cool to see some other stuff in action. And also because I want to fill up the encyclopedia. So yeah, that's the reason why I chose that. But the Defense Ignore and the Ice Res Shred is really good as well. Anyways, this is a unlucky roulette, so let's see what we get here. Alright, we get a, right here, max HP. Oh, we got energy regen increase. Okay, that's good. We just have to get, we have to pray for two combat nodes. Which hopefully we do get. Because I really do want to use combat. Alright, we got a combat one. Really good. Okay, so let's use EX right here. We're gonna be going into Nangong, swap in. There we go, nice. We can hold basic attack and just do Promeia stuff. So right there. Another Abloom damage. And just do ult. Alrighty, good. Alright, 500k in Bloom. That's really good. 1 million again. Yep, that's just typical numbers that you see. Alright, let's do a charge attack. Yuzuha. Go back into Promeia. Alrighty. Let's see if he does attack us. There we go. Alrighty. We're able to trigger that passive. And there we go. Nice. Okay, yeah. So far, so good, I would say. So we're gonna be taking these. Alright, nice. And then we're gonna be going to another mist area. So we gotta pray that it is one more combat area so that we're able to get the 25% energy generation increase. This means that we're able to spam EXs all the time, so it's pretty good. Alright, this is just another rest node. So we're taking the Resonium again. We'll take the anomaly one. Of course, we're taking the anomaly one. Alright, we got level 2 Burnice. Really, really good. Okay. Let's go into another mist area to just increase our damage. The more mist areas we go to, the more our S Resonium is able to give us. This is a combat node. Alright. Okay, so let's use EX right here. We're gonna be going all out here because we do want as much gear coins as possible. So yeah, there we go. Another one. And another one. Go back into Nangong. And we're just gonna be doing some shoulder to shoulders right here. Alrighty. So far, so good. 1 million? That was 1 million, right? 2 million Abloom? Yeah. Just the typical damage numbers I was able to see with Promeia. Promeia is just really, really broken. Alright. Let's do another normal. There we go. Another 2 million Abloom. Just casual 2 millions. Yeah, Promeia is just really, really good in general, I would say. Alright, there we go. Nice. Let's see the damage. Another 2 million Abloom. Yep. Just typical Promeia numbers. Again, another 2 million. Yep. She's really consistently hitting those 2 millions. Let's go with another anomaly one. Yep, because we got a free 2 anomaly ones. This is the Vivian one, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we get another Vivian one. And 35% energy generation. Yeah, we are cooking. We're cooking with this team. Despite the hiccup of the Hugo boss battle, I think we should be fine here. Oh, never mind. We're not fine. You want to know why? It's because, well, this boss right here, well, she doesn't, she resists ice. So we're kind of screwed. She resists ice, she resists ether. We're screwed. We're mega screwed. So yeah, well, we're gonna be here for a while, so yeah. But anyways, time to lock in. Alrighty. So we're gonna be reacting to her attacks right here. Let's do EX right there. Okay, good. Let's do hold the normals. Nice. Let's do another EX. Nice. Alright. We don't have a lot of energy, so we have to just make do what we have. Alright. Let's do another charge. Luckily, since we do have Nangong, we should be able to at least daze this boss. Alright. Let's go into Nangong. Okay. Never mind. Promeia just dies instantly. Okay, yep. This is going to be a very, very hard Hollow Zero, I'm pretty sure. Because we got unlucky. We have to fight. We have to fight this boss. This boss sucks because it resists ice. It resists ether. And they expect you to run Promeia, who is the well, the boosted character in this Hollow Zero, by the way. Yeah, Promeia on this, on Ether Activity 8. Yeah, this is going to take a while, but we do have to. I think we just have to lock in. This might be maybe this might be a skill issue on my part. So yeah, we're gonna lock in. All right. So we're gonna be going to Nangong and use Adult. We just have to stun her. We just have to lock her over and over again. And then we do have to use the Burnice. We just have to keep constantly spamming the Burnice one. Because at least with Burnice, we're able to just do damage. Alright, let's do this. Nice. Alright, let's do EX. Alright, let's see if she attacks us. There you go, nice. Alright. Let's do another one. There we go. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's keep rotating skills. We just have to keep rotating. Alright. Nice, okay. Let's see. Alright, there we go. We got an EX. Nice. Let's do a charge attack. Alright, let's go into Burnice. At least Burnice is able to do damage because the boss doesn't resist the boss doesn't resist fire, at least. Let's do another EX right there. Let's do a parry. Nice. Go there. Nice. Okay, let's do an ult. Okay, so far it's going okay. It's going okay so far. But well, this is Hollow Zero, so some stuff might go bad if we are not careful. Let's go into Nangong. All right, let's go into ult. Hopefully the MIYABI shield is gone. Hopefully. Let's go into Yuzuha. Nice, go into ult. And we just have to keep rotating until she's dead. Alright, nice. Alright, let's do a hold. Alright, nice. Okay, there you go. I was waiting for the attack, because that was unsafe. There we go. Alright, let's go into Burnice. We just have to give ourselves a break here. There we go. Nice. Alright, let's go into Nangong. And just do our stuff. Alright, nice. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, that's some good damage right there. Alright, 3 million Abloom. Alright, 3 million Abloom, and the boss just resists ice. That's some really good damage. Alright, nice. Alright, good. We are able to trigger Vital View. That's good. Okay, nice. Alright, let's go back into Nangong. And just do her charges. Alright, Yuzuha. Nice. Alright. Let's use Burnice. I do not want her to move. The last thing I want her to do is move and just decimate us. So yeah. Alright, let's do another EX. Okay, good. We got another Vital View. Alright, nice. Big damage. Alright, good. Let's do another EX. Do another dodge. Nice. Alright. Now we just have to use Nangong. Nangong needs to finish this off. Come on, Nangong. You got this. Let's go, Nangong. Alright, Nangong didn't finish it off, so maybe Yuzuha will. Let's use ult. Come on, Yuzuha. There we go. Okay, we had to lock in. But yeah, there we go. Okay, boss is done. I'm pretty sure that was pretty terrible, but at least we're able to get it. Okay. So, let's see what we have right here. So, I guess we can go for it's either the all anomaly damage increase or the defense reduction. And this one gives us pen ratio and days dealt. We're gonna be going with this one, Spotlight Solo. Alright, let's see. Let's go with the stun, because we do have Nangong as our stun agent. And yeah. Alright, we got an S rank. Really good, I would say. S rank on that. The boss was resistant to ice and ether, by the way. So yeah, it was a similar situation with basically just the Yanagi thing where I showcased Soukaku with Yanagi, where we had to be on that boss for so long. But yeah, well, there we go. At least we're able to just beat him. So now it's time. Alright. So we're going with the all-out anomaly damage increase. This is free since we are able to just do that. Alright, let's go into another mist area. We're going to be going into a lot. And then hopefully the gear coin shop at the end should have some anomaly stuff so that we're able to get a level 5. Hopefully. Oh, another Bang Booster. Okay, this is just an actual Bang Booster. Alright, this is pretty bad. Let's refresh. Yeah, well, there's nothing here. Let's do another refresh. And nothing here. They actually don't want us to get anomaly, Resonia. Yep, nope. We are out of here. Just forget about it. We're out of here. They don't give us, the Resonium we want. We just get out of there. Just get out. Alright. Let's see what we get here. Okay, just some more, yes, but enemies. This is the same thing. We already fought this before. We fought Polkra and the others before. This is just really weird. Alright. Nice. Alright, let's go into Nangong. That switch was not free. We did take some damage right there. Alright, there we go. Okay. Now we're just gonna pay attention here and just dodge. Alright. There we go. Nice. Okay. We just have to trigger those EXs. Alright, let's use ult. Alrighty. Okay, nice. Alright. So, so far, I'm pretty sure we should be good, but, yeah, our damage output is still good. It's just that these enemies are just really, really tanky. Because, we are at, ETH Activity 8. ETH Activity 8, enemies are just really, really tanky in general. 1 million disorders, 3 million ablooms. Yep, just typical damage numbers you're able to see with this team. So, yeah. Anyways. Let's do EX right there. Nice. Let's dodge that attack. Alrighty. Okay. I think Nangong EX should finish it. There we go. Okay. Bulkra was dodging a bit, so yeah, that was pretty bad out of us. I guess we can use this. This is the yeah, I think this is the Orphean Magus one. Alright, so I guess we could just take that. That's a really, really good one. Alright. I'm pretty sure the Orphean Magus one gives us a free ult. So every time we use the Burnice assist, we should be able to use an ult. If not, then I guess I'm wrong. But yeah, that's still really, really good for us. Alright, let's go with the one Resonium. So we get here defense and rupture. I guess we'll take the rupture one, which gives us an HP increase. This means that we don't die instantly, which is pretty nice. All right, let's go Mysteria. Let's see what we have here. Oh, it's in the counter node. Okay. This just gives us Z merits. Maybe we might get a Resonium out of this one, or oh, a gear. Okay, no gear. All right. Now we're in friendly talk. Okay, so now we're at the boss. So we're gonna be fighting Scorched Horizons, of course, because Scorching Horizons is the new boss of this Hollow Zero. So yeah, we're gonna be fighting Scorching Horizon. Anyways, let's see the shop. Hopefully they have some anomaly ones at least. Let's refresh. Is this just gonna be the same thing? Are we actually not gonna have? Okay, finally, there's one. Okay, let's keep refreshing. Another general one. Okay, I guess we could take this one. We can increase our decibel generation rate. At least we're not sitting ducks if we use that. Okay, there's the anomaly ones. I don't think we have enough. Yeah. Let's go with the anomaly proficiency one. Alrighty, they actually had to give it to us at the end. You gotta be serious. Yeah, we can't even get a level 4 Resonia. Well, that's how Hollow Zero is, right? Okay, let's go to Scorched Horizon. Yeah, but that's how Hollow Zero is, right? You don't get the Resonium you want, and that means you can't complete the missions. And by missions, I mean the mission where you have to get, I'm pretty sure you just have to get the, all the levels. Alright. So we have to do this. We have to parry him 3 times. There we go. Got another shutdown. And then we have to do it again. So let's run away. There we go. Alright, now we have to parry these. So there's 1, there's 2, and the third one is delayed. There you go. Alright, nice. Now we can actually just go into town on Scorched Horizon. Alright, there we go. Let's use ult. Since we do have a lot of ults to use. Alright, let's do EX again. Let's use EX, use ult. Nice, alright. Then we're gonna be doing the same thing with Promeia. Use EX and then ult. Because we have a bunch of energy generation anyway. Alright, there we go. What's that? Did I see that correctly? Did that say 18 million? I think that said 18 million. 18 million damage. 18 million. Yeah, yeah, this team is really, really good. Alright, I think we're gonna be stunning the enemy right here. So we're gonna be going into Promeia. To Yuzuha. And we're going into Nangong. We're gonna be doing a double EX on Nangong. There you go. Alright. So now we go into Yuzuha into Promeia. And then we should be able to just do damage. Nice. Alright, let's do ult. And we're gonna be using Burnice afterwards. Alright, let's use Burnice. And this should do some damage. Yep. Alright, so luckily the Orphean Magus assist is really good because you get a free ult out of it. Really, really nice. let's use EX and just do the charge attacks. And then just do another set of ults. Alright, Yuzuha. Let's do ult. And then go back into Promeia and do the same thing. Alright, nice. Alright. Hopefully Faith in attacks. There we go, nice. Alright, good. That was a 8 million Abloom, 8 million Abloom on wind. Nice. Another EX. Alright. Do this again. That's 79 million! 79 million! Yeah, 79 million. 21, was that 20? Holy! Yeah, Promeia is really, really good. And that was a funny, that's a funny wipeout screen. Anyways, there we go. That was, that's Promeia for you. So yeah, despite a couple of hiccups, we had to lock in for Hugo and, the second boss. But other than that, I mean, there we go. We just completed Hollow Zero. Despite a couple of hiccups, we are able to at least showcase that, yes, Promeia can beat Hollow Zero on Ether Activity 8. And also, we're able to see the, I think that read 79 million. If I am wrong, then it's probably like 7 million, but I think that read 79 million. So yeah, 79 million of bloom damage. Yeah, really nothing for me to say there. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the Hollow Zero run. So now it's time to move on to the VR segment. So, well, without any further ado, let's just move on to the next segment. Alrighty, so here we are in the VR segment. So, just like every single other showcase video, I'm just going to be showcasing Promeia with her moveset and as well as just damage in general and just showcase her maximum damage output. So yeah, VR segment is basically just a playground for me to just showcase what Promeia is able to do. So without any further ado, let's just showcase Promeia. So Promeia is actually kind of easy to play in this game. All you have to do is literally, if you do have enough energy, you can't just throw your cape. And then you're able to walk around a bit, but usually you're not going to do this. And then afterwards, you just normal attack. And then you repeat the same thing over and over again. So yeah, that's basically how you play Promeia. So you just use EX, and then you hold attack to just basically just do your damage. But it's only if you have enough Corrosive Chill to trigger some Ablooms for your damage. So yeah, you get Corrosive Chill by just normal attacking. You can also do it if you trigger Freeze or Ablooms, which is right here. You can also get Corrosive Chill by just using the EX and just normal attacking. That also works too. You can do it with ult. You just get a basically Corrosive Chill by just doing actions with Promeia. Just do those certain actions and you just get Corrosive Chill automatically right here on the top left corner. So once you get Corrosive Chill, you get Trial by Cold, which is the little dot on the screen right there. Once you have Trial by Cold, you can throw your cape into a hold attack or hold special. So you can do this in one of two ways. One, in order to throw your cape, you just do the basic attack combo, which is right here. Yeah, see? You're able to throw your cape, and then afterwards you hold the attack button to do that. And then you're able to just follow up again with another attack. You can also, of course, if you want to do it quicker, press your EX to throw your cape immediately, and then you just hold your basic. And that's basically it. So yeah, that's basically how you play as Promeia. You want to do certain actions such as EXs, freezes, disorders, Ablooms to basically give meter to Promeia. So of course I'm going to be showcasing that right here. So let's try to freeze the enemy. Right there. Nice. Alright, now we go into Nangong and let's trigger some corruption. So might as well. There we go. So let's trigger some disorders. And right here, as you see in the top right, Promeia already has her Trial by Cold. There we go, nice. And there we go. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, as you see there, she's able to trigger some Abloom damage right there. As long as you trigger disorders, Ablooms, or freezes, or basically any Promeia action, you are able to get Corrosive Chill stacks to do Trial by Colds. So yeah, that's basically how you play Promeia. You just throw the cape sometimes. Once you have enough Trial by Cold, you're able to just do the normal and then just do Abloom damage. So that's basically how you play as Promeia. So yeah. Well, anyways, now that I showcased how to play as Promeia, now we can actually do the damage showcase. So anyways, let's do it. So first off, we're going to be getting some Sugar Dust stacks from Yuzuha. So let's do it like triple EX or something like that. Let's use an ult. And then we're going to be stunning with Nangong. Because Nangong, once the enemy is stunned, we're able to get some pretty cool benefits if we just do it. So let's do that. Let's do ult. And this should just trigger. Alright. There we go. Alright. So we go into Yuzuha. We go into Nangong. So now we go into EX. There we go. Do another EX. And now we should use the Abloom. So see it here? 1 million disorder! 1,500,000 Abloom! And let's see the ult right here. Yep, 600k Abloom. That is some pretty good damage. So yeah, as you see there, we got 1 million Ablooms and basically just 1 million disorder damage. So yeah, that's basically how the gameplay loop goes for Promeia. But there is one more thing I want to mention about Promeia's corrosive chill stacks. So besides doing normal attacks and obviously throwing her cape, there is one thing that you must do, and that is to trigger the vital view. I've been doing it a lot in this showcase video, triggering vital view by throwing the cape. You do this by having the enemy attack you. So we're going to be showcasing this a couple times. You have to practice this if you are playing as Promeia, because if you do, you get the most corrosive chill out of your buck. The game rewards you for doing this by just giving you corrosive chill stacks. So anyways, let's see it right here. Right there, Vital View. As you see there, we're able to get our Abloom immediately. That is the reason why you use EX. So there you go, again. And you trigger some, basically just a pretty cool animation. So make sure you practice this, because if you do this, yeah, as you see there, we're able to get our Abloom damage. Easily. Very, very easily. So yeah, make sure you practice this a lot. So yeah, if an enemy attacks you, just use an EX before you get hit. So basically, you kind of play her just kind of like, you play her basically like how you play as, well, other characters like Rupture Agents that just parry. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to be showcasing the maximum damage right here because we are able to get some Vital View stacks. So let's see how much damage we are able to do right here. There we go, 1,800,000. Yeah, you see the damage that you're able to output? It is actually insane. So yeah, remember guys, make sure you just trigger your vital views. You just have to. Because, again, you get a bunch of corrosive chill, which in turn, right there, as you see there, 1 million of bloom damage. So yeah, make sure you practice this, guys. You just have to in order to play as Promeia. Because if you do, you are able to get the most corrosive chill out of your buck, which in turn gives you more trial by colds to do a bloom damage. So yeah, you basically play her like you play as Yishuan, like you play as Billy, or you play as Yadhari. You have to basically use EX like a parry attack. So that is the reason why you just have to use EX. Because if you do EXs like that, you're able to get the maximum amount of corrosive chill, which in turn gives you more trial by colds. So yeah, that's basically it. And that is the last thing I wanted to showcase to you guys. So yeah, so right there, as you see there, 1,800,000. That is the maximum I can get on my Promeia, as you see there. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the VR segment. So I did showcase a bunch of things I already wanted to showcase, which is the damage and the gameplay style of Promeia. So yeah, that's basically it. So now it is time to move on to the final segment of the video, and that is to do the, well, of course, the overview and final thoughts. So without any further ado, let's go to the last segment of the showcase. So here is Promeia. Former occupation, sweeper. Current occupation, the Moonlight Judge of Krampus. She is part of the Krampus Compliance Authority faction. Her attribute is Ice, and her agent type is Anomaly. So just like every single other showcase video, I'm going to be just talking about the skills and the Mindskip cinemas, and then giving you my overview and final thoughts on Promeia. So without any further ado, let's talk about the skills, starting off with her core skill. Core passive, Thief of Flames. If Promeia's initial anomaly mastery exceeds 150, each additional point increases her anomaly proficiency by 1.5 and increases the whole squad's bloom damage by 0.35%. So basically, you want to build as much AM as you can. The more AM you have, the more AP and the more bloom damage you're able to get. Remember, this increases the whole squad's bloom damage by 0.35%. So basically, it's not just Promeia herself. She's able to increase the bloom damage of all party members. So that's the reason why you have to get as much AM as you can. The more AM you have, the more AP you get, and the more bloom damage she's able to do. This is very, very important if you are building Promeia. So make sure you get as much AM as you can. Promeia gains a set amount of corrosive chill when her attacks hit enemies. When squad members trigger freeze/disorder, when the enemy is inflicted with vortex, or when Promeia triggers EX special attack execution shrouded in shadow, she gains an additional 5, 5, 10 corrosive chill respectively, up to a maximum of 100 corrosive chill. So basically, if you do a normal attack, you get 5. If you do a freeze and disorder, you get 5. If you do a vortex, you get 5. And when you do a shrouded in shadow, you get 10. So basically, you just want to do shrouded in shadow, which is basically the EX you get when you do vital view. It is really, really important to do so because you get basically more corrosive chill for your buck, which in turn gives you more trial by cold stacks to do Abloom damage. So that's basically it. So you get a maximum of 100 corrosive chill, but you are going to be wasting a lot of trial by colds anyway. So this really isn't a big issue unless you don't use Promeia for a while. So yeah, but I mean, 100 corrosive chill, it's a pretty good limit, I guess. So yeah, that's basically it. When a squad member triggers and hits an enemy with Abloom, Promeia gains an additional 15 corrosive chill. So basically, if you just trigger Abloom, you just get 15 corrosive chill. It's pretty free. When corrosive chill reaches at least 50 corrosive chill is consumed to convert it into 1 point of trial by cold, up to a maximum of 2 points of trial by cold. So basically, as long as you get 50 corrosive chill, you get trial by cold. Trial by cold is the thing you use to do Abloom damage. That's basically it. Upon entering the battlefield, Promeia gains 2 points of trial by cold. So yeah, you get 2 right off the start, so you can just immediately use the trial by colds, but I suggest that you just do your anomaly build-up first and just trigger your attribute anomaly, and then you use your trial by cold, because you still get extra stacks of corrosive chill. So yeah. When the finishing move of EX special attack Execution Merciless Judgment hits an enemy affected with Ice Anomaly, Ether Anomaly, Electric Anomaly, Fire Anomaly, Physical Anomaly, or Wind Anomaly, it triggers Abloom once, dealing 635% on attribute anomaly damage of the corresponding attribute. The skill consumes 1 trial by cold upon activation. So basically, if you hit an enemy with the Merciless Judgment attack, if they're afflicted by any of these anomalies, you're able to do a Abloom damage of 635% at level 7. So basically, you just do big damage on the enemy. So yeah, make sure you basically just make sure the enemy is afflicted by an anomaly, and then you do the trial by cold. You consume it to do the Merciless Judgment attack to do big Abloom damage. That's basically what the game is trying to tell you. So basically, do the EX special if the enemy is afflicted by an attribute, and you just do big damage. So yeah, really, really good. 635%. It's a pretty broken thing. This means that well, you already saw in the video, she's able to hit 1 million Ablooms very, very easily. So yeah, it's pretty good. You have to level this up. When Promeia triggers and hits an enemy with Abloom, she gains an additional 100 decibels. This effect can trigger once every 0.5 seconds. Using ultimate Glaciating Impalement grants Frost Oath. With Frost Oath, after using EX Special Attack Execution Merciless Judgment, Chain Attack Hanging Judgment, or Ultimate Glaciating Impalement, press or hold special to consume Frost Oath and immediately follow up with Special Attack Execution Layered Frost. 1 stack of Frost Oath can be held. So basically, when you do an Abloom, you get 100 decibels. This means that she's able to generate her ult very, very fast. She might actually get her ult on the first minute of the battle. That's how fast she's able to get her ult. But if you use your ult, you get a Frost Oath. You can consume the Frost Oath to do, well, the basically the special attack Execution Layered Frost. This means that you just get a free just special attack to use. So yeah, her ult just gives her a free Frost Oath, and then you can just consume the Frost Oath if you want. So yeah, it's pretty good. Additional ability, Vessel of Ice. When another character in your squad is an anomaly or support character, when using an EX special attack, Promeia's Ice Anomaly build-up rate increases by 30% for 30 seconds. Repeated triggers refresh the duration. So basically, you just get a free 30% anomaly build-up rate. It's pretty good. And Promeia is able to just spam a lot of her attacks anyway, so this means that she's able to trigger freezes all the time. It's free freezes all day, every day. When any squad member applies the Frostbite effect to an enemy, its duration increases by 3 seconds. So basically, if you trigger Frostbite, you get an additional 3 seconds of Frostbite. It's pretty good. When Promeia's EX special attack hits an enemy, it inflicts Presumption of Guilt. When any squad member triggers Abloom on a target with a Presumption of Guilt debuff, it ignores 40% of the target's defense. Presumption of Guilt lasts for 30 seconds and repeated triggers refresh the duration. So basically, when you use an EX to hit an enemy, you basically get Presumption of Guilt. Once you trigger Abloom with any squad member, you get a 40% ignore defense on the target. This is broken. This is the reason why you want to pair up on their special ability, because you get a free 40% defense ignore and a free 30% ice anomaly build-up rate. It's really busted. So if you get the chance, you have to pair her up with anomaly and supports to get the additional ability. Her additional ability is pretty busted. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to talk about the skills. So here we go. Basic attack, Sweeping Edge. Press attack to activate. Performs up to 5 attacks against enemies ahead, dealing ice damage. After landing the 5th hit's downward attack, and with sufficient trial by cold, keep holding special or basic to chain into EX special attack execution merciless judgment. Enters the bounded absolution state after throwing the cape during the 4th hit. So the bounded absolution state, they haven't mentioned this yet, but it is on the basic attack right here. So basically this is when she throws her cape. When she throws her cape, she goes into a special state where she walks, and then afterwards you can press special or attack to just follow up on the cape attack. But her basic attack allows you to go into her cape attack without having to waste an EX. So it's really good if you don't have energy. You can just use your 4th hit to go into the cape attack, and then you're able to just go into your Abloom damage via trial by cold if you hold the special or attack button. So basically, your basic attack is not just your basic attack, but it's a way for you to throw your cape at the enemy. It's really good. Basic attack, Whirling Blade. Hold attack to activate. Promeia leaps in the air and attacks, throwing her cape beside the enemy and entering the bound absolution state. Dealing ice damage. Hitting enemies does not accumulate corrosive chill. So basically, this is just a shortcut for you to go into bound up absolution. So if you are not using basic attack, you are most likely doing Whirlwind Blade. When you hold attack, you leap into the air and then you attack, and then you basically go into bound up absolution state anyway. So it's pretty good. So basically, this happens when you hold basic. So after you do merciless judgment, you can hold attack to go into Whirlwind Blade. It's really good. Bound of Absolution. When using certain skills, Promeia throws her cape to continuously slice enemies, dealing ice damage. Does not accumulate corrosive chill upon hit. While the cape remains out, Promeia can walk slowly. Press attack or special during this period to immediately follow up with 5th hit of basic attack Sweeping Edge. The 5th hit of basic attack Sweeping Edge. If attacked during this period, Promeia triggers the perfect dodge automatically. The dodge can trigger once every 20 seconds. So basically, when you throw her cape, you just do ice damage. Yep, that's bound to absolution. She walks around slowly and she's in a special state where literally you don't get corrosive chill. But when you press a attack or special, she immediately follows up with Sweeping Edge. So basically you just get a free 5th hit on there. But you are able to trigger perfect dodges as well, so you can basically just get a free dodge out of the way, and it's really good. So yeah, she basically gets a free dodge, so just in case the enemy is gonna attack you, you can just throw your cape out and then just wait a bit, and then yeah, you get a free safe perfect dodge. It's really good. So yeah. And now it's time to talk about dodges, and this is not really that much special. Dodge, Veiled Step. Press dodge to activate. A quick dash dodge. Characters will using the... This is just your dodge. It's just basic dodge. Dash attack, Grim Reap. Press attack during a dodge to activate. Delivers a quick attack forward, dealing ice damage. This is just your dash attack. Dodge counter, Soaring Bat. Press attack during a perfect dodge to activate. Unleashes consecutive attacks against the enemy, dealing ice damage. After using the skill, it can immediately be followed up with the 5th hit of basic attack, Sweeping Edge. Characters normally using the skill. This is just your basic dodge counter, but or just dash dodge. So basically you just get into the 5th hit, which is basically free, so you are able to go into Sweeping Edge 5th hit. It's pretty good. So yeah. And now it's time to talk about the assists. So let's talk about them. Quick assist, Ambushing Strike. When an active character is launched, press assist to activate. Unleashes consecutive attacks against the target, dealing ice damage. Characters are multiple using the skill. This is just your quick assist. Defensive assist, Injunction. When the on-field character is about to be attacked, press assist to activate. Parries the enemy's attacks, dealing massive damage or massive daze. Characters only using this dodge. This is just your basic parry. Assist follow-up. Intercepting strike. Press attack during a defensive assist to activate. Unleashes consecutive attacks against the target, dealing ice damage. After using this skill, it can immediately be followed up with the 5th hit of basic attack Sweeping Edge. Cards are only using this skill. This is just your basic parry attack. So basically, with the parry attack, you are able to go into 5th hit. So a lot of her things go into 5th hit. Her dodge attack goes into 5th hit. Her assist follow-up goes into 5th hit. The reason why it goes into 5th hit is so that you're able to throw your cape, because that is what her main gameplay is. You have to throw her cape in order to do a boom damage. So that's basically why those two things right here allow you to go into your 5th hit. So yeah. Anyways, let's talk about special attack. Her most meatiest section. Special attack, execution, cold flash. Press special to activate. Launches a flying blade attack, dealing ice damage. This is your basic special. EX special attack, execution, glacial death. With enough energy, press EX to activate. Performs a flying blade attack, throwing her cape beside the enemy and entering the bound absolution state, dealing ice damage. If attacked by an enemy shortly after using the move, automatically changes into EX special attack, execution, shrouded in shadow. Upon use, Promeia gains the absolute order effect. Characters are only using this skill. So basically, this is just when you use your EX, you're able to throw your cape, and that's basically it. You go into bound of absolution state. That's literally all it does. If you are able to time it correctly, before an enemy is about to hit you, you get shrouded in shadow. Let's talk about it. EX special attack, execution, shrouded in shadow. Triggers automatically when hit shortly upon activating EX special attack, execution, glacial death. Enters the vital view state briefly and swiftly circles behind the enemy. After triggering a perfect dodge and with enough energy, press special to consume 40 energy and activate EX special attack, execution, shrouded in shadow, gaining the absolute order effect. Characters involved using this skill. So basically, if you have enough energy, you can just use EX to consume 40 energy to activate Shrouded in Shadow, which is pretty good after a perfect dodge. So basically, you don't have to use just EX in general by parrying. You can just dodge and use EX, but it's way quicker, I would say, if you just use EX anyway, because you just are able to just only press one button. For the perfect dodge, you have to press 2 buttons, but it's still technically the same thing. You just have to literally 1 parry with your EX, or 2 dodge and then use the special. It's basically, well, it's the same anyway, but this is just a better version of the EX Glacial Death. In Shrouded in Shadow, you enter Vital View. It's pretty good. You have to do this a lot anyway, because if you look at her core passive, you have to do Shrouded in Shadow to gain 10 Corrosive Chill. So you have to just master this. It's really important. Special attack, execution, descending frost. While under absolute order effect, press attack or special while in the bound absolution state to activate. Leaps forward, leads toward the enemy, retrieving the cape while performing a descending attack that deals ice damage. After landing, a Promeia possesses Trial by Cold. Keep holding attack or special to chain into EX special attack, execution, merciless judgment. Character only using the skill. So basically, after you throw the cape, if you press attack or special, she jumps in the air, drops down, and does like a kick attack. And then yeah, that basically allows you to follow up, if you have Trial by Cold, into merciless judgment. And that is her main bread and butter. You go into basically, you throw the cape via Glacial Death or Shrouded in Shadow, then you do Descending Frost, and then afterwards you go into Merciless Judgment. That's basically it. Special attack, execution, layered frost. After triggering EX special attack, execution, Shrouded in Shadow, quickly press attack or special to activate. Quickly launches a flurry of attacks, then leaps toward the enemy, retrieving the cape while performing a more powerful downward attack that deals ice damage. After landing, if Promeia possesses Trial by Cold, keep holding attack or special to chain into EX special attack, execution, merciless judgment. Characters only using this skill. So basically, layered frost is just a better version of descending frost. This only happens if you go into Shrouded by Shadow. So basically, you just have to master this, because if you do, it rewards you with stronger damage. So basically, you just have to dodge. You have to literally master Shrouded in Shadow. So basically, once you do Shrouded in Shadow, you go into Layered Frost, which is just a better version of Descending Frost. It's literally the same thing. And of course, just like your typical attack right there of Descending Frost and Layered Frost, you can follow up with Merciless Judgment, which is right here. We could talk about this right now. EX special attack, execution, Merciless Judgment. with enough Trial by Cold, and after performing the final hit of basic attack Sweeping Edge, special attack Execution Descending Frost, or special attack Execution Layered Frost, keep holding attack or special after landing to activate. Quickly leaps back while unleashing a more powerful finishing move dealing ice damage. Hitting enemies does not accumulate Corrosive Chill. After using the skill, hold attack or special, or press attack to immediately follow up with 5th hit of basic attack Sweeping Edge. Characters won't using the skill. So basically, once you do everything that you're supposed to do, hold the attack or special to do Abloom damage. That's basically it. That's literally what you do. So after using Layered Frost, after using Descending Frost, or after using Sweeping Edge, you just go into the Merciless Judgment and then you just do Abloom damage. That's basically it. Afterwards, you can hold attack and special to immediately go into your 5th hit of Sweeping Edge, and you just keep repeating the process over and over and over again until you run out of Trial by Cold stacks, of course. So that's basically it. And now it's time to talk about chain attacks. So, well, let's go. Chain attack, Hanging Judgment. When a chain attack is triggered, select the character to activate. Throws flying blades and hangs upside down above the enemy. Unleashes a flurry of attacks, ending with a finishing move, dealing massive ice damage. When the heavy attack hits an enemy afflicted with Ice Anomaly, Ether Anomaly, Electric Anomaly, Fire Anomaly, Physical Anomaly, or Wind Anomaly, it triggers Abloom once, dealing 100% attribute anomaly damage of the corresponding attribute. After using the skill, it can be immediately followed up with the 5th hit of basic attack Sweeping Edge. Characters only using the skill. This is just your basic chain attack, but if the enemy is afflicted with an attribute, you do 100% attribute anomaly damage from Abloom, which is really good. It's just a free Abloom if you do a chain attack on a affected anomaly agent, and then you just go into big damage on Abloom if the enemy is afflicted with attribute anomaly. So it's pretty busted. So you want to chain attack with her every now and then. But you are able to go into 5th hit of Sweeping Edge, which means that you're able to throw your cape. So it's pretty good. Ultimate, Glaciating Impalement. When Bestable rating is at maximum, press Ultimate to activate. Unleashes a series of forward attacks dealing massive ice damage. With the heavy attack hits an enemy afflicted with Ice Anomaly, Ether Anomaly, Electric Anomaly, Fire Anomaly, Physical Anomaly, or Wind Anomaly, it triggers Abloom once, dealing 250% of attribute anomaly damage with the corresponding attribute. After using the skill, it can be immediately followed up with the 5th hit of basic attack Sweeping Edge. Characters only using the skill. So basically, it's just a powerful version of the chain, except that you do 250% more damage. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, that's basically all of the skills right there. Pretty good. Now let's talk about the Mindscape Cinemas, which is the whale territory. So well, if you are wondering how good Promeia is with Mindscape Cinemas, or you just want to get some Mindscape Cinemas yourself, well, let's talk about how good the Mindscapes are. So let's start with M1, Innocent Idealism. When Promeia uses Ultimate Glaciating Impalement, she gains an additional effect. If Trial by Cold points are not at maximum, gain 1 point of Trial by Cold. This effect can trigger once after using Ultimate Glaciating Impalement. When any squad member triggers Abloom on enemies with Presumption of Guilt, it ignores an additional 20% defense. So basically, when you use an ult, you get Trial by Cold if you don't have the maximum Trial by Cold. So basically, if you're at 1 or if you're at 0, you just get a free 1 Trial by Cold as long as you don't have maximum Trial by Cold points. So basically, you just get a free Trial by Cold if you use an ult. It's pretty busted. And remember, Promeia accelerates her ult very fast because every time she does an Abloom, she gets 100 decibels back. So this means that you're able to just get this very consistently. This means that you're able to go into Trial by Cold Ablooms much more often, which in turn means that Promeia is just going to be cooking the enemy alive. So yeah. And also, when any squad member triggers Abloom, you get a additional 20% defense ignore on your Presumption of Guilt. So basically this means that you're able to just ignore even more defense. This means that all your party members' Abloom damage just becomes broken. So yeah, M1 is a really busted Mindscape. Now let's start to talk about M2. M2, Flattering Conviction. Promeia's anomaly proficiency increases by 40. The multiplier of Abloom triggered by consuming Trial by Cold increases by 120%. So basically you just get a free unconditional 40 AP, pretty nice. And the multiplier of your Abloom when you consume Trial by Cold is increased by 120%. This just increases her overall damage and just makes her Ablooms just hit much harder. So basically, if you want to have a stopping point at Promeia, if you want a good stopping point on Mindscapes, M2. I would say M2 is a good stopping point. Just like every single other agent in the game. So, the reason why you want to stop at M2 is because M1's already good enough. You just get the free Trial by Cold by ulting, and you also get a 20% defense ignore, an additional one. And for M2, you just get a free 40 AP, and then you just increase your bloom damage. That's all you need, basically. Afterwards, yeah, Promeia is already good enough with M2. This means that she's able to just cook the enemy. So, yeah. A good stopping point, I would say, is just M2. Just stop at M2. But now, let's have to talk about her other Mindscape cinemas, for those who want to venture even more. Cruel Moonlight, that's her M3. You just get a +2 to all skills. It's just your basic M3. M4, Ruthless Accusation. When Promeia triggers Abloom, she restores 5 Corrosive Chill. This effect can trigger once every 0.5 seconds. So basically, every time you do Abloom, you get Corrosive Chill. More Corrosive Chill means that you get more Trial by Cold, Abloom, and then you do Abloom to get more Corrosive Chills. You get 5 additional ones. So basically, it's just an endless cycle of Ablooms. Yep. It's what you think it is. It's really broken. M5, the Dying Moth. Just another +2 to all skills, with a net total of +4 if you already have her M3. And now it's time to talk about M6. This is the whale territory. Basically, the Mindscape that makes everyone broken. To be continued. When Promeia consumes Trial by Cold to trigger Abloom, it triggers an additional special Abloom effect, dealing attribute anomaly damage of the corresponding attribute at a fixed 200% multiplier. 5 Corrosive Chill and 100 decibels are also restored. This effect can trigger at most once every 15 seconds. In addition, attribute anomaly damage and disorder damage dealt by Promeia ignore 50% of enemies' all attribute rest. So this Mindscape is absolutely broken. So first off, when you consume your Trial by Cold and to get a bloom, so when you do Trial by Cold to a bloom, you trigger an additional Abloom. So you basically just do a Abloom plus another Abloom, you get 2 Ablooms. Yeah, so basically you get a Abloom and then 200% Abloom, and it's just a spiral. It spirals out of control. You just get more Ablooms. And remember, more Ablooms means that she gets more Trial by Colds because of Corrosive Chill. She gets Corrosive Chill if you trigger Abloom. So basically you get more Trial by Colds. 5 Corrosive Chill and 100 decibels will also be restored if you do the Abloom. So basically you get more Corrosive Chill and more decibels. This means that you just do Abloom, ult, Abloom, ult, Abloom. It is really, really busted. So yeah. Also, in addition, you get a anomaly damage and disorder damage increase, and also a 50% all attribute res decrease. So this means that yeah, it's just so broken. So basically, you get a free 2 Ablooms if you do Trial by Cold. You get an additional 5 Corrosive Chill and 100 decibels if you do that, and also you get a 50% all attribute res reduction on anomaly and disorder. It's what you think it is. It's really, really busted. So all of these Mindscapes, I mean, they're really, really busted. Flattering Conviction, The Dying Moth, Innocent Idealism, Cruel Moonlight, To Be Continued, Ruthless Accusation. All of these are just really, really good anyway for Promeia. I mean, what do you expect? It's Mindscape cinemas. Of course they're going to be good. But the main ones that you want to go for is Innocent Idealism and Flattering Conviction, M1, M2. You just have to get those. But if you want to venture forward, then I guess you can get Cruel Moonlight, Ruthless Accusation, The Dying Moth, and To Be Continued. So those are really, really good too for the whales out there, but I suggest that you just stop at M2. So yeah, that's basically it. All of our Mindscape cinemas are just really good. So now, it's time to talk about the conclusion. So what do I think about Promeia? Promeia is broken. Yeah, my opinion has changed on Promeia. I said that MIYABI is still the best. I don't think that's the case anymore. That's because well, despite the game just shilling to Promeia anyway, because endgame content of course always shills to the newly released agents, Promeia is just broken, I would say. Her bloom damage is nuts. It's crazy. She gets more buffs than MIYABI. MIYABI is just a big damage, and then that's basically it. For Promeia, she like literally just does a bloom damage and gets like debuffs and buffs and all that stuff. She gets everything. MIYABI basically just gets a vanilla kit, while Promeia is just in modern kit. So yeah, this is basically just the modern MIYABI, I would say. But then again, MIYABI still performs really well in content. So I would say actually that Promeia and MIYABI are probably equals, I would say. As time goes on and there are more wind agents, because Promeia is able to get Corrosive Chill by wind anomaly via Vortex, I would say Promeia is probably going to be better than MIYABI once wind agents come out. But since wind agents aren't out yet, I'm going to say that Promeia and MIYABI are equal, I would say. So yeah, Promeia, I would say that yes, she is probably one of the best ice DPSs in the game, I would say. She's just really, really broken. But as of right now, I say that both of these two are basically equals. So yeah, that's basically it. That is my opinion on Promeia. And now, that is it for this Promeia showcase video. So, if you guys enjoyed this showcase video and you want to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. Any amount of support is greatly appreciated. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So, thank you guys so much if you do support the channel. By you supporting the channel, it helps to keep me motivated and making more videos. So, again, if you support the channel by liking and subscribing, it really means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for doing so. And as for the comment section down below, what do you think of Promeia? You think she's good? You think she's bad? You think she's better than MIYABI? Or do you think she's worse than MIYABI? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching this Promeia showcase video. And I'll see you guys next time in the next Zenless Zone Zero video.